Okay, everybody, happy holidays, and this is Hawaii the Sponge with Low Key High Entertainment. I was talking earlier about the whole transitioning of turning this game from a boring, I guess, realism 3D hoopla to more of a comic stage. I've done a couple things, and right now I'm kind of in the merger of the three properties that I want to do here. So the first is the LODs. Those will come with the models. For instance, like if you, it's the oh my gosh, level of distance, line of distance. Basically, the further you're away from something, the less detailed it gets. So that's basically what we're going to be doing. It obviously saves space too, and it runs better on the FPS and all that nonsense. But I'm gonna try to make it more comic booky, I suppose, with the black outlines, all that kind of stuff. So like you'll see enemies further away. They'll look like the stereotypical, like no character in like a comic book. For instance, like these buildings here, these are obviously stand-ins for the city. This is more my like experimental city going on here. But you'll notice the buildings are black. There's really no detail in them. They're just kind of squared off. That's kind of what I'm going for the most part. Is that when you read a comic book and you overlook the city, right? A lot of the city is just, one basic shade. It's either black or it's like blue or steel or some weird color like that. And as your character gets closer to the building, it comes out more. The color comes out. And then you can see the detail in the hatch lines and everything like that. So that's kind of the idea that I'm going for, and the reasoning behind it is it's more combat focused. So that way you're not constantly looking in the background and like getting sidetracked. Because like when you have a realism game or something, and you're shooting somebody, you'll see a flag move off in the right, and then it'll catch your eye, and you'll be like, "Oh, what's that flag doing?" And then you get yourself shot. So it's one of those like the background's just stagnant enough where you can look at it and you're like, "Oh yeah, okay, kind of cool background," but it's not the major focus of the gameplay, I guess. So in doing so, that's what I'm doing with the LODs. Is that the models will be more detailed when they're closer up to you, and then less detailed when they're further back. So that's thing number one. So thing number two is the color scheme. So right now, I've got three different colors set, and obviously the colors will be different per model. So we'll have like browns and yellows and all that nonsense. But right now she's standing in kind of this like mundane green color. It's kind of bland, but when you read a comic book, you're focused more on the action. So you'll have like the VFX. She'll have glow to her. She'll be a little more detailed, opposed to, yeah, so she'll be a little more detailed, and then the bad guy will be more detailed, things like that. So it's a lot more combat focused, and you don't have a lot of this eyesore shit going on where shadows play in your issues. But so the idea is that you see these black buildings here in the background. Is that this is a material. And it's a repeatable material, so you can change different colors depending upon whatever it is. But you can, yeah. So further away is black. City's black. As I move closer, they'll start to change color. So like now that that black building is kind of purple, and then like as we get closer to it, it kind of turns into that green color. That's kind of what I'm going for on this. Originally, I was just going to go ahead and pop it in and out, but I think the gradual change is a little better. Plus, she's going to be running like 3 times her speed, so you know you'll be running all over the damn place. So there's that. So that's the color. That's number 2. And number 3 is that old comic dot, I guess. It was the weird printer paper that they used to have, where everything kind of had this like dotted feel to it. And that's kind of what I was going for. So right now it's in black and white. Let me just walk into that area here. It's what they call a post process. So when you walk in this area, which would be, you know, the game itself or whatever, you'll have this kind of dot thing. So what I plan on doing is separating key factors, so like items, Kianna herself, enemies, things of big significance. We would take this filter off because it's very... It takes a lot of the detail away from what's going on here. But if you look at the background, it kind of has that nice comic book dotting. So combining the 3, that's the kicker, is that we'll combine the colors, which I think is like yellow, cyan, pink, and green, and black, and then white. Those were the original color schemes in like the printer or whatever. So it'll make, you know, it'll obviously make different colors than that, but like that's the main draft on that. And then by separating Kianna, we can kind of have like more focus on the character, and then what she's doing, but it'll still have that nice comic booky look. So like it'll still be, you know, pink sky, you'll see the purple, the green, everything like that, and then mix it with the LODs, and that's kind of what I'm going for right now. Obviously it's going to need a lot of tweaking, but it does do what it needs to do. I just need to make sure that it looks right and it's not really up in your fucking face to cause you like a seizure or something. So that's what I'm going for on this one. The other thing that I wanted to discuss was it's an old mechanic, and it's really I don't know why a lot of Unreal Engine games don't have it. I think it's because it's just lazy. That like I'm pretty sure it's laziness why they don't have it. But back in the day, you used to have like a run button and a walk button, and they were the same button. So like, so right now, Unreal Engine wise, usually you like move your character and they run, and then you like hold shift and they sprint, and then you just kind of have that only thing. So you don't get a walk cycle. You get like a run, maybe a speed up, maybe you start walking and then you run, but you know, and then you press the shift button or toggle it, and you know, you go in sprint mode or whatever. So what I decided to do was take the controller and hooked it up to the sensitivity of the character. So now if you turn around, one is that it's kind of she needs a turn animation, but you hold the D-pad down or the joystick down, right, and she goes into sprint mode. So if you're trying to pick up an item or trying to jump off a ledge or test distance or, you know, whatever, it's kind of hard to do, especially if she's moving a lot. Like, she'll be moving a lot faster than this. So what I decided to do was toggle the or I'm sorry, not toggle it, but gradually move it due to sensitivity. So like if you barely press your thumbstick down, she'll actually go into a walk, and then like you can kind of have this whole, and I don't know why a lot of games don't have that. It kind of really fucking bothers me. And I honestly think it's laziness. But yeah, so we're definitely having the walk cycle, the run cycle, things like that. So that's what I wanted to discuss with you guys for now. In a couple of days, I will be merging, like I said, the color with the comic book background with the LODs, and we'll see what that looks like. And then once we get the Kianna model, we'll take her out of that equation and kind of keep her separate character, keep the enemies a separate character, and it should look very comic booky once I'm done with this. So that's the thought process. Anyway, you guys have a good one.